So you're sure, Kel, that you don't want me to start this episode by putting on my sty ointment? You don't think that'd be a good idea for
Elliot? I think we need to
watching?
respect the people enough. Something you do on your own time. But if that's
it's
something
like
that you
middle
want
of
to
the
introduce to
day.
people,
I need to do it
is it
3
going to throw
times
off your
a day.
routine? Okay, well then I think
Like
that's
it's really,
fair.
it is something I need. You know, I've been told by a professional that I need to
I
put it
know.
on at around midday.
And you've just already been applying it for like the past 20 minutes. Like you just keep putting it on. And I
I just
think there's a limit to the ointment, you know?
Yeah.
So that's fun.
I think that since this episode, we were definitely not recording this episode directly after the last episode, the fact that this sty is still here a week after forget about it. I thought there was going to be
I really applaud the effort. Anyway. Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Kelliot. My name is Kel.
And my name is Elliot, and we are
designers who care.
Who care? We give a fuck. Frankly,
Yeah.
to be frank. And I don't think, you know what's crazy, Kel? I think we're the only designers who do.
I'm starting to think that too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Designers who yap, designers who care, designers who have
What's the third
executive
thing?
dysfunction.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, we really have it all here on the Kelliot podcast, and we thank your support so much. Yeah, this is the musical theater of podcasting. We are stars of the stage, screen, and now stars of your ears.
Hey,
and we
call
are
us Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Lin-Manuel could write Hamilton, but could Hamilton write Kelliot? That's the question on everyone's mind this episode. Yeah, it's been cool. How's your week been, Cal?
Man, it's been great. I will be going to, but by the time you hear this, I will have gone to Kennebunkport, Maine for a week. And my cousin's getting married in New York, and we're using it as an excuse to go up to a place that I used to go to a lot when I was a kid. And that is the coast of Maine. And it is very pretty. Underrated part of the U.S. Very far north. Yeah. But I'm really, really excited. We're just going to hang out there for a couple days on the beach. And I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully I am refreshed, relaxed, not too sunburned, but maybe a little tan. So, how's your week?
That's the dream. Yeah, it's definitely not as exciting as Maine Glorious Man. But I call it Groundhog Day because I've been diagnosed with ADHD. And maybe by this time next week, I will have been medicated, not self-medicated with Celsius, but properly medicated with 10 milligrams of Ritalin short release. Yes, amphetamines. Yeah, exactly. Stimulants that will help me get to work. And I will have been to that brat party, and maybe I will have come up with a cool costume by then. Or maybe not.
Us a green screen.
Yeah. I think I honestly have one of those, and I don't see myself using it in a long time. I would be willing to cut it into shreds and wear it as a hat.
Just like a little, like one of like my green screen, you just pull up from the floor, but you just pull it from the top of your hat, and then you have like
some bizarre top hat. You just rock up wearing like a disc, and then it just you push it down, and it just kind of extends really neatly. Yeah. And then I'm just like, trust me, everyone, it would look really cool. Like film me. I'm gonna do some crazy edits on my hat.
You could put things, awesome.
Yeah, you can do whatever you look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. Try something, guys. But we are recording this episode directly after the last one. I'm going to break the fourth wall there and admit it. For those who have tuned in just for the fourth episode, that's what's going on here. You got to listen to the third to get the vibe of this one.
We did change.
We did. There was a discussion. Let's just say this. There was a discussion about whether or not we should change shirts, and there was an agreement, a mutual agreement, in fact, which I was surprised by. And now we are now dressed differently, but it is the same day.
It's the same day. Yeah.
And that's cool. This is going to be the vibe, I think, of the bonus episodes that'll come to Patreon, because that's how we're going to be recording those directly after the first one. So this is your taste, your sneak peek into that, which is coming soon. Big things coming, guys. Huge things coming.
Oh, and by the time this is out, my first video is on YouTube. My first video back.
Well and truly. Yeah.
Yeah. So go
That's so exciting.
give it a watch. Go listen to mental illness in real time. And mental illness.
If you're not getting enough of that on good on Kelliot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so funny. I saw a comment that was like, so excited to see Kel slamming Modelo's again. Like, which is so funny. Given like in my video, my first video, I talk about struggling with being an alcoholic. So that's really it was really funny. They don't know that. The person who left that comment doesn't
now
know.
They will have the clarity. Yeah.
I do still drink, but it's in very minimal moderation. It's really on occasion, and I have control over it now versus before I did not. So yeah, go watch my video. It's long per usual. I'm not known for having short, concise thoughts and or videos. So yeah, go.
How
go
long
give
is it,
a
out of curiosity?
watch. I think it's like 50 minutes.
Wow. I think that's exactly what people want after.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
I broke it
That's
down
exciting.
into like main topics and covering like I had to put like a million trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we're going to talk about really awful shit. If you don't like awful shit, probably not the best video. Just know that I'm back on YouTube and you can click off. But we included like chapters and stuff so people can skip some topics. But
yes.
Yeah. So
speaking of chapters as well, hopefully we will have added. I did see there was a comment asking for chapters. I do think it makes sense to add chapters. I'll do some of that. Hopefully we've got those on this video, but that's also ambitious. That requires watching the entire thing again.
We bounce
exactly.
between things so quickly. It's like
okay,
it could be like a chapter that's like this big, and then it's also going to be like the same chapter over here, and then here, and then over here, because we're like talking about so many things at random times. It's hard to necessarily pin things down.
And we've got the podcasting studio that we're using, Riverside, actually generates AI show notes for us and chapters. And let me tell you, Kel, I had to read over the episode 2 chapters, and I was like, this isn't even close to what we were talking about. Like, like it is, but it's like we'll say like one sentence of a topic, and then it's like the next 20 minutes are dedicated to this one sentence that you said in the chapter thing. It's like, yep, that's what they said. But it honestly, I reckon if we just chucked it up and we used those exact chapters, no one would know that it would be completely fine. It is they're actually pretty solid. But yeah, speaking of chapters and things, we never got to talk about Elliot's creative process last week.
Yes, 'cause I talked for too long. No, we
that's
really
not
want to
how
give
this
Elliot,
works.
Elliot his opportunity to share his creative insight, and then we have some fun stuff for later.
Yeah,
not that this isn't fun, but
it's a variety
more
show.
The more professional side.
What I'm going to talk about is not fun. Let me tell you, my day to day is not fun.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Okay, so we'll start it off. I wake up. What can I say? I do that every day.
I like that we just turned this into like a day in my life.
Well, because it's the thing of like I don't want to make like a. I was very happy doing an apartment tour, but I don't think I could ever do a day in the life because it's like, as you'll now find out, there is no real routine or anything for me. It just kind of happens, and then the next
every
day
is different.
It's an exciting career full of many different possibilities. Some days I play Street Fighter, some days I play Persona 3 Reload. You know, guys, there's many different things that could happen. But work is not one of them. So what the recent routine has been. Well, I guess I can talk about the general. There is some sense of routine. So I get up. I'm more of as a freelancer. You know, you dictate your own sleep schedule. I'm more of a nighttime guy. Could that be because I push work back to the very end of the day because I don't get it done during the start of the day? Maybe.
I'm curious to see how your medication will change that because I also used to be a vehement night owl, and then now I am in bed by 10.
the amount I have romanticized working from 11 till 2, like 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. and being like, oh, the lighting, the way the moon streams in from the window, oh, the ambient light, oh, it's just the best time to work. And then I wake up every morning like dead, and I'm like, I can't do any work during the day because I'm so tired. And I'm like, And now I'm like sitting here, I'm like, God, beautiful light coming in. Wouldn't it be nice to work at this time of the day and have like a lunch break instead of having dinner and then sprinting to the night? Anyway, we'll figure that.
Anyway,
I think
I'm not going to interrupt you
that'd
anymore.
Be good. No, please.
My medication has worn off.
Yeah, and mine hasn't even kicked it. I just took mine.
Need to be
That'd be a
chained.
funny episode. Elliot takes Ritalin for the first time.
That would be really funny.
That would be so strange. Yeah, but something to think about. It might actually, I might actually get it in time for the next episode. We'll see. Don't use it for content, Elliot. Don't use it. You need it for yourself. But I will get up. I will do my usual. I've been making some beautiful bacon egg rolls with avocado recently. I've been I really do like cooking. I don't do it enough, but I do love doing it. Then I go to one of the many cafes in my area, which I have conflicts with because I have many different... a lot of people know me by name in different ones because I've become a regular at many. So I have to kind of cycle through them because I don't want to like choose one as a favorite. I want to make sure I share my business around. I think it's important. But they all do a killer iced latte. And then I will try and do some emails. That's always important to get those out of the way. On a good day, I'll do some emails. And then I'm a big to-do list. I found that works well. I'm a to-do list guy. I work on Notion. That's my thing. I've got an insane amount of Notion pages going on there. I also used to have a paid subscription to Notion for some reason. I needed one of the features, and then I canceled it. Maybe it was a free trial that I canceled. And for some reason now on my Notion, I have a red bar at the top that says you have an unpaid invoice. I've talked to customer support about it. They say the only way you can get rid of that is by paying the invoice, even though I don't have to pay it because I never was I don't know what, it's because I was like charged the fee to a card that I don't use anymore, so it didn't go through. So it still thinks I have to pay it even though I never intended to. And then that also means the enter key doesn't work sometimes. So sometimes I just can't use the enter key when I need to make a to-do list. And to-do lists are famously use the enter key.
They do.
To start a new to-do. It just
New
makes
task.
sense. So that's usually, this is how an insight into the ADHD mind. When I can't use the enter key to make my to-do list, I go, well, today's not the day. I just go, damn.
That's how easily you're derailed.
It's how easily I'll go, I wonder if the enter key works on YouTube. And then I try and search something. I search Will Patterson, enter. And then I go, let's have a look. No, it's a lot. And then I've also been using this, which is this little 60-minute timer thing that I got recently that I can choose how long I want to set my work time for. I hit boom, it starts counting down. I found that really, really helpful for getting stuff. I'm working in 60-minute intervals. The biggest challenge is starting a new 60-minute interval after one is done. But then I'm an afternoon, evening gym man. I work out. I try and go every day. I do CrossFit stuff now. And I am proud to say that I would officially call myself strong. I was never strong. My family was strong, but I wasn't because I just didn't go to the gym. And now I am strong, and I enjoy being strong. I like being able to carry furniture around the apartment on my own.
Yeah. Dude, groceries.
Things.
Ever since I started doing Pilates, I'm like, I can actually like carry my groceries into my house.
Yeah,
like that's really nice.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And I used to be I would always think I was like a lanky guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the body dysmorphia was real. And now I am cool and strong. Now I'm cool and strong. Yay! No, but it is fun. I like exercising. It makes the mind feel good. And I we'll try and run as well sometimes as well. I try and do a lot. I think because I just like doing it because it shuts the brain off for a bit, and it's very easy to. I got good genes, so I've been able to progress very. My parents are very athletic, so it's like been nice to kind of do it feels like my body was made to do, which is run around. And
I feel like you're built like a runner.
Oh yeah, I was told that the other day. I was doing some lifting at the gym, and one of the other guys was like, you must find it hard because of the ratio of your like limbs. And I said,
never come back to the gym.
Oh, okay. No, legit. I was like, this is an interesting conversation. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, like I was doing deadlifts, and he was like, you have like the long legs and a short torso, so it's like and like not flexible, so it's like hard to like reach down. And I was like, you're right. yeah, legit. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, what lift is good for my body type? And he said running, and I was like, that's not a lift. But I was like, it does make sense that I found running quite easy and my mom was a runner and everything, so it is cool. Okay. If anyone's curious, the old Godaim listeners. Godaim should actually be back by the time this episode goes up, I think, as well. I'll be doing two fucking podcasts a week and no YouTube videos. But yeah, the run report was going to be awesome. The first one back. Make sure if Godaim's back, guys, it's going off over the nonsense podcast. Godaim, we're designer who doesn't care. Doesn't care what doesn't care about views on that one, because I just silently drop them. But when it comes to actually designing, guys, this is wildly different to your day in the life, Kel. This is even just the way we talk.
To each their own.
Exactly, and this is why we work so well. The contrast of lived experience. When it comes to actually designing, I find that if it's most of my clients are usually just like friends now, because I just do YouTube work and make reels and stuff. The process of that is very different to the process of designing. I'm a big I find that even if I don't have the ideas in my head, I don't wait for the ideas to come to me. I must get into the software and just start using it for 5 minutes, and I trust that I'll get the ideas once I start doing it. I feel like I don't come up with design ideas when not designing. Like, it has to be like something I'm actively doing.
Yeah. I think that's like an object permanence thing too for people with ADHD. It's hard for me to just like brain blast it when I'm like on my couch or something. Like, I have to be like here thinking about it, and then an idea will come to me. I'm like,
I need the blank canvas. It's like that thing of like when you're hearing a song and you're trying to think of another song that it like reminded you of something, but you can't think of that song because you're already hearing a song. It's like, I need to like give me the blank canvas, so it's the only thing I can think about, and I just stare at it and I go, I need to fill this canvas, and then I can do stuff with that. But I can't if I'm like just looking at like, even like scrolling for inspo, I'm kind of like, this is tough. Like, I don't find it too helpful. I find honestly just like getting on the page and just going like, let's just try something completely new and see where that goes, and then that'll remind me of inspo that I've seen before, and then I can draw back to that.
I feel that.
But yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah, it's a fun process. I think I have a lot of fun designing. I find it very enjoyable. And then when it comes to like making YouTube videos and stuff, that's a long process. I used to have this system, which I think I'll pick up again when I start medication, which is I break my month up into weeks. The first week of the month is Design Chef Week, which is dedicated to Design Chef, which is on the first Friday of every month. I'm hoping to bring that back if medication works out. And then the second week is Content Week, I think, which is the coming up with the idea for the YouTube video, if there's designing involved, doing all of that, and getting that all the stuff ready to use in the video. The week after is Production Week, which is the writing the script, filming the video, and then the first rough edit. And then we have Editing Week, which is the real fun, where I get to edit the shit out of a video and then upload it. And that's how I think I work best when I'm like project based like that. And then all it takes right now is like my agent being like, hey, I have a new, Skillshare wants a reel or something. And I'm like, okay, cool, time to ditch my entire schedule to focus on this, even though it won't take very long. So it gets a bit muddled up, but it is kind of, I like to break it up project based. I find it that really an easy way of thinking about it all. And yeah, I'm in terms of music, I have music on essentially 24/7. There's not like a waking minute where I don't have music on. I'm a big daylist guy. I really appreciate the Spotify daylist feature. Huge fan of that. If anyone knows Derek G, he is a kind of like curator, DJ. He makes content about music and about like listening to music and hi-fi, like headphones, shit like that. Anyway, he has a Patreon called Solid Air. It's one of the greatest things I've ever signed up to. I cannot recommend it more. His taste in music is truly incredible, and he releases every Friday Solid Air Radio, which is an hour of him DJing an hour-long kind of radio set, which he talks about in between. And that I will usually have on all week or past episodes of that. That's what I've been listening to a lot recently. But my music taste ranges from everything and anything, kind of except pop, in all seriousness. Like, I think I listen to like everything outside of that, which is just wild. But I'm getting into it. I'm a big electronic music kind of guy. I don't have the word terminology to get into each of the different genres. I'm not even like a rave guy, but the music I listen to would suggest that I am, because it's very intense, but I find that is really good to design to, and also just to listen to in general. I love it. I love my hip hop, my jazz rap, my boom bap, my bit of every. It's honestly it's a lot of stuff. And I even have, you were talking about in the last episode, you should make a playlist. What I do, Kel, if anyone's curious, I have Elliot Radio, which is a thing a playlist I make monthly. I update it on the first of every month. It's 15 songs that I was just listening to in the last month, and I just update that every month. So if anyone's keen, that's fun if you want to get a sense of what I listen to every month. That's a real. I love doing that as well. I really have a lot of fun making that playlist. So
we should do like a combined playlist of an
A-side,
B-side, like
yes,
the two genders, pop,
yeah.
Everything else.
Everything else. Because Kel, I'm so quirky with my music taste. I listen to a bit of everything. Oh.
You're so unique.
Oh, yeah. I know half the artists, you guys wouldn't even, have heard of half these guys.
I'm not wearing my pop shirt. My hating pop music doesn't make you deep. I wore that 2 episodes ago. I love that shirt.
Let me counter that with my shirt that says, hating pop music makes you really awesome and everyone loves you for it, and gives you so much respect, because it's such a cool thing to say. But no, I'm having my brat winter right now, because it is winter here. And very different vibe to a brat summer, can I just say. But it is, no, I have music on all the time, but that's kind of my process. It's very when it works, it's really fun, and I really love doing what I do. It's just a matter of getting it to work, and I think that right now it's not, and then we're trying to fix that. And but when it does, guys, God, it's awesome. I think my favorite part is the editing of a YouTube video. I have a to-do list. I'll write a to-do list at the start of the edit of every single thing I want to edit in that video, and then it's like 100 dot points, and I just get to go through each one. And every day I wake up, sit right down on the computer, and I just get to knock out a few, have food, knock out a few, have food, knock out a few, go to the gym, knock out a few, and it's like so satisfying. And then I upload the video, and no matter how well it does, I kind of just sit back and go, well, I'm done for a good 3 months now. Like, no more energy. Sprint. Oh yeah, it's a great sprint.
Yeah.
But it is fun. But that's my process, guys. I hope that I think it's cool. It's very different to you. I yearn for a sense of the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like a sense of like routine. I would really like that. I would really like to be able to sit down and know that I'm going to work. Because right now I save the deadlines until the very end. End of day means 2 a.m. for me. For when the client says by end of day, they don't mean 5 p.m. guys. They mean let's be honest. If you send something at 4:59 p.m. before 5 p.m. end of day, they're not looking at it until 9 a.m. guys. You can upload it at 2 a.m. No one cares. Time zones. Great excuse to say. But that's all I got to say about that. That's my day. That's my day. What do you think, Kel? Do you think I'm cool?
I think that for what I imagined your day
Yeah.
would kind of break down into, I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I'm curious, again, to see how it changes with medication.
Mm.
I definitely started hitting my deadlines not long before, but if I had like a 3-day turnaround, I would finish something like midway through the second day.
Oh my God.
So it wasn't like...
So you
I know.
tell me if I got a 2-week deadline that you don't spend the first 13 days thinking and then the last day doing?
You might spend the first like 7 days thinking.
And
but-
actually thinking and not just
Yeah.
thinking, like, not
Yeah.
like Street Fighter 6. Wow. Oh, it'll be good.
Yeah. It's really I think like the thing that people always say about like, when you start medication is that it really feels like you're logging online for the first time. And people said that it was life-changing, and when I was going through like some of the other medications that Kaiser Permanente forced me to go through, it's my insurance, and I was like, I don't know if like this is gonna work. Sorry, I have a cat on my lap, and he has to get comfortable.
Always
But
excused.
he has to like spin in circles on my lap under my desk. But when I was going through that, I had to try all these different things, and I was like, none of these things are working. They made me really moody, and really just made the crash really hard. Like at the end of the day, when everything wears off, I'm homicidal. I can't continue this way. And then when I think it took me like 3 days of being on Ritalin 20 milligrams extended. Because first day I got like an immediate headache, and then I like blacked out for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and then we had like dinner, and I went to bed. It was super weird. But the first few days after that, I was like, I feel like I could just... I'm not doing like the, I should do this thing. Like
Yeah, the fight within yourself. Oh, it's all like,
Yeah.
please, Elliot. I just go, please do it.
Yeah. It's like I want to do something, but like my bones are magnetic and pulling me in the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah. It's like I sit on the chair and I go, Elliot, you need to stand up again. You need to leave the desk.
And then you're like toiling like, dude, I fucking suck, man.
Yeah, oh, legit. It's like,
Suck.
why did I stand up? I didn't
Yep.
need to get a kombucha.
Yeah. So
That's exciting. I'm very
it
keen.
does help
Yeah.
once you
That's-
find the right
that's-
medication. and
That's the
dosage.
thing. There will be a phase of going through it. Boring. Why can't it just work immediately? I'm so impatient.
Well, it will work immediately. Like you should figure out pretty early on versus like with SSRIs, like you have to wait like 2 months for them to like start working,
Yeah,
which is
oh my
really
God.
ironic for what you're usually
Yeah.
using SSRIs to treat. So they're like, well, we know you're thinking about killing yourself, but you're going to have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to see if this medication might work.
Just
And
be
I'm like,
patient.
okay, cool.
Yeah, just
Cool.
hang
Yeah,
in there. Just like, buddy, just keep it up. Fucking hell, that's tough.
So, yeah, you should know
Yeah.
pretty immediately because it's not something that lingers. Like, the medication will be in your system, but you're not actively feeling it unless
Yeah.
you're taking it. So,
Mm-hmm.
you'll know.
You can tell everyone. Yeah, you can tell everyone that ADHD has been on my mind a lot recently. This has been a very revolutionary few past 2 months, and I'm venting it all. This is what happens when I don't have a good dime. Once the camera's on, I start talking about ADHD. I simply must. I do it to everyone in person.
Well, you're
as well.
grieving.
know.
You're coping. You're going
That's
through
true.
the acceptance process of like
That's
kind
true,
of
that's true.
putting together all of these things in your life that you didn't really fully understand, and now you're finally looking back and you're like, oh, here's the 17 little pieces of the puzzle that I've been missing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking back on all the broken, like shit's just not assembled properly and stuff. And now you finally have your little toolbox that you've been able to unlock finally.
Thank God. Thank
So,
God. I've
it's
got
exciting.
the key.
It's
We've
really
got
exciting.
the key, baby. Let's do it. Yeah. But in exciting news, and before we get into it, guys, once again, if you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. You know the deal, guys. Come on. Do we have to do this every episode? We don't have to do this
Yes.
I feel bad. Yes? Okay.
Until we get those bad ones gone.
Until we see 2,500 reviews on that thing. I refuse to start.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Follow the Instagram.
Yeah.
And leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. That would mean a lot. Thank you.
And like Kel's new YouTube video too.
Yeah.
Give them some support, guys.
Thanks.
Speaking of support, you all supported us because this episode we are going to be answering some of your questions. We wrote down a few before we started recording, and now I feel like we have less time to cover all of. I feel like we're only going to get to a few of these because we just
we'll
love
do a
to
speed
chat.
run.
We'll do a speed run. Yeah. I think that sounds fun. But you left us some questions about life stuff outside of graphic design, which we would love to talk about because we are more than just graphic designers, guys. We're human too, which is pretty
that's
awesome.
Kind of one of the main things we wanted to cover on this podcast was not explicitly graphic design stuff, but other things around graphic design, because we are more than just graphic designers and just resources for other people. We're also people.
Yeah. It's just,
stories and personalities and perspectives.
We're in the design category as a podcast because the entertainment one is it's too polluted with other podcasts, guys. It's too, yes, polluted versus saturated. Very similar words, similar meaning, but very different intent behind it. Sorry, Elliot. But there's we have met Kel in very exciting news. Last time I checked, which was this morning, we're 13th on the arts podcast charts in Spotify Australia.
Woo!
13th. Let's go.
All right.
Yep.
Get those ratings up, guys.
There's not many arts podcasts in Australia, so we've done. It's just quite easy to climb. But Godime cracked the top 10 once, and I was like, how the hell? And then I'm like, oh, no one really categorizes their podcasts in arts. But the ones at the top, if we can get up, 99% Invisible's up there. We're close to them. Yeah. There's some really good ones up there. Yeah. Well, that was like 9th, so we're close. Right. It's cool. It's very cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for submitting your non-design questions as a way of us relaxing a little bit in part 2 of what we've recorded today. Mm-hmm. So let's start off with a question from Zoe Still. What is your favorite candy, Elliot?
You mentioned that this one would be asked, and I was like, I'll think of an answer by now. And first of all, we don't call them candy. We call them lollies. But moving on. God, and is this including chocolate as well? Can we lock that in?
I was going to make a joke that you were going to say some shit that was like, it's a dilly wizzy or something. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we have these things.
This is what it feels like as an Australian. It's like, oh, my favorite thing is a chocolate bar. And Americans be like, oh, you mean the Fizzle Whizzle? You mean the Wonka Fizzle Whizzle? Oh, yeah. Oh, we have those at Trader Joe's. We have Fizzle Whizzles at Trader Joe's. And it's like, okay, we just eat dairy milk chocolate.
That's why, like, when I make fun of British people, like, Matt and I are always like, oh, you're having some pilly pump scrum.
Yeah, they have the exact same thing, except just in a British accent. Oh, Fizzle Whizzle. Yeah, we got Fizzle Whizzles as well. Yeah. Down at Walgreens. At Tesco's. At Tesco's.
Oh, yeah.
We got Fizzle Whizzles at Tesco's. My favorite candy. I'm going to include chocolate in this conversation because I know Americans include candy in it as well. The thing that I seek out most is a Kit Kat Chunky.
Ooh. Okay.
With Milo. Yes, the thick one with Milo, which is an Australian delicacy. It is a malt powder that you put in milk and you drink it. But it's also become so iconic that they now collaborate sometimes with other things. And they collaborated with Kit Kat. And Kit Kat Milo Chunky went so hard. It was so good. Kit Kat Biscoff is a close second. Kit Kat Chunky Biscoff. Oh my God, Kelly, you have no idea. It was unreal.
I love both of those
things. The Kit Kat Chunky series is so good. Yeah. They work so well together. But Kit Kat Milo is a pretty special treat. It's pretty special.
Kit Kat Milo.
Yeah. That
sounds delicious.
Oh yeah, Milo is really good as well. And if anyone's wondering about my Milo ratio, I put 1 tablespoon in, fill the glass half full with milk, put another tablespoon in, fill the glass more with milk, and put a final tablespoon at the top before mixing it. Jesus because Christ. We all know that if you put if you put all the Milo at the top, it's not gonna mix around as much as you want it to. You
Okay.
gotta do it at the same time. It's very important.
What if you put it all in first, like just at the
then
bottom?
it's just
of the
gonna
sauce?
then it's gonna kind of like solidify at the bottom, which is a tasty treat at the end. Don't get me wrong. Some
Yeah.
people that you might be into that kind of fucked up thing, but
Yeah, sickos.
you know, it's too much. But I like diluting it slowly with my process, and it seems to work most of the time. What's your favorite candy, Kel? What's your favorite candy, Kel? That's got a little ring to it.
I'm gonna be super original here and say that I also really like Kit Kats.
Yeah.
It's like one of my longtime favorites.
Oh yeah.
We don't have that many exciting flavors here. We have like birthday cake, and it's fucking disgusting.
What the fuck? That is a thing. They've got like what's the Tootsie Rolls? No, that's what I'm thinking of. The same brand, but I swear there's like a birthday cake flavor. No, don't worry about this. I've lost memory in
Are
my
you thinking
head.
of the cake?
I'm thinking of the brand that make Tootsie Rolls also makes something else that is like a log, a sweet log that's like a pillow.
Sweet log that's like a
Skip.
pillow.
We're not gonna get there. We're not gonna get. We're not gonna get.
I don't know if we
there.
have time for that today.
I think I dreamt about that. I don't think that's a
Yeah.
real thing.
So I would say
Twinkies.
Kit Kat.
Twinkies.
Twinkies? That's
yeah,
what
do
you
they
were
have a birthday
thinking?
cake flavor? I was thinking of Twinkies.
I don't know if I've ever even had a Twinkie now that I think about it.
Can we re-record the entire podcast? I've really
I'm sorry to break this news to you. Didn't know you were so passionate.
I've just train wrecked this entire thing. Don't worry, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
If not-
Kit Kats are great.
If not Kit Kat, I would say I really like Nerds. If I'm
And they're
going
having, like, a revival.
candy,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they're one of the
Pip-
few non-chocolate
clusters.
candies that doesn't have gelatin in it, and I don't eat gelatin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like most candy, so especially in the US. So yeah, I do like the Nerds, just like the pellets.
Yeah. Yeah. The balance, like.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably my go-to. Oh, I also really like Mounds.
See, this is.
Do you know
the
what a
thing.
mound is?
Is this a? Can I guess?
Mounds. It's a
Is it like a
name.
chocolate mountain with marshmallow inside?
Ballpark close. It's with coconut inside.
Coconut was fuck. That's what
It's like an
that
Almond
sounds
Joy
delicious. Yeah.
without the sickos who like a single almond
Yeah.
on the
Weird.
Mounds.
Ugh.
So yeah, that's my favorite candy.
Great question. Great question from
Zoe.
Still Zoe.
Still Zoe. Still.
Thank you so much.
B Bambio. Favorite hobbies outside of being creative /art /design. Elliot.
I'm a big sport guy. Basketball is one of my favorite things ever. God, I wish I made it. Guys, I was close. I was in
You
the
really
draft.
should have
I went
been
undrafted. Yes, I should have been.
If I didn't have
I
that
really was
injury,
Damn, if I didn't tear my ACL on that skiing accident, I would have been able to play. Why did they tell me to go down the slope?
Should have been
Threadbow, the Australian ski range. Fake snow, sometimes. I love basketball so much. I specifically love the NBA. I'm a big NBA head. I don't follow any Australian sport really apart from the NBA. And honestly,
what NBA team
the
do you follow,
Matildas.
Elliot?
I followed the one and only Washington Wizards. Historically great team. Definitely haven't been shit for most of the time. Like real, and and the bad thing is, this organization, everyone, has made me just so pissed. Like, just an organization that is committed to being mediocre. A lot of teams will tank, they'll be bad for a bit, and then so they can be good. This team just is mediocre always. But there's a new general management, there's a new team, team structure. We're tanking right now. The team's absolutely shit, but I watch every game. I could tell you all of their draft picks, and I love them like so much. I'm so excited to move. Like, this is the thing as well. Because the basketball's on the middle of the day for me. like 10 a.m. the game starts sometimes. I need to give my full attention to the NBA. I need to give my full attention to the game, and that just puts off working in the day so much more. When I was in New York and I could finish a day and watch a game to go to bed, I was like, God, this is what sport is for. It's an end of the day relaxing event, even though I feel nothing but shame and stress while watching the Wizards. But it's great. I play that socially. I am in a social league. A league where you can only score a maximum of 10 points each. It's a learners and friends league, which means that anyone who has never played before can play and bring literally anyone else. If I were to bring LeBron James, he would be allowed to be in the league, but he would only be allowed to score 10 points. That's what makes the league so great. I played all through high school. Can I just say, I'm actually pretty good. Do you believe me?
I believe it.
Thank you.
That. Yeah.
I'm really good. I'm a classic white boy basketballer, I think. I can't shoot, not that athletic, but I have the vision.
You have the height.
The IQ, not the height, hardly any of the physical abilities.
You are above
I'm like
average.
5'11".
Yeah, that's up there.
When I was getting my electrocardiogram for my my ADHD medication testing thing yesterday, they were like, "Do you know your height and weight off by chance?" And I said 5'11". I was like, "We're not testing that. We're not." I've been saying 5'11" for so long.
Cool.
And they're like, "Cool. You really look like 5'10".
5'10".
I was like 6'1" in shoes. Yeah, I really made sure to lock that in. Yeah, like 6'5" in shoes, 5'11", and it's like you should see the shoes I wear. But I love to play sport. And then aside from that, I was a big Street Fighter guy, but I've since deleted it. And then I also I do a improv comedy. And I think there's another question we can get into to talk more about that, because I got a lot to talk about that. Yeah. But I love doing comedy. That's my main dream. That is my dream. It's not graphic design. Sorry, everyone. It is comedy.
Graphic design is not your passion.
No. 5 more years at most. It's not the passion. It is the income. But I also love it. I loved it more when it wasn't the income, but now that it's the income, I kind of feel like I have to do it. But yeah, I love hobbies. I love doing stuff. What about you, Kel?
Well, like you, I also like basketball. I also follow the NBA.
Go Blazers!
Unfortunately, I can't really give Elliot shit for liking the Wizards, as I am a Blazers fan. Because I live in Portland, and it kind of makes sense for me to like the Blazers. Elliot living in Sydney doesn't really make a lot of sense why he would like the Washington Wizards. It makes just as much sense. So, there's that. So yeah, I do follow basketball. I'm not as emotionally involved to having a private reply guy account on Twitter. Like, I know the majority of the NBA Twitter is just anonymous reply guys just being really mean to each other.
Couldn't be me with my account that has 14 followers. Shout out to my 14 followers who love Wizards Down Under. Don't look it up. Why did I say it?
Hey, that's a good one. Wizards Down Under.
I haven't posted in so long. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. So I do that. I mean, outside of being creative, I spend a lot of time with my cats. We're very involved cat parents, really like spending a lot of time playing with them and just general care for them, because I do have 3 cats and one of them is a high support cat. So, that does take up a lot of our time. I know we both like houseplants, so thoroughly enjoy houseplants, caring for them. What else do I do? Oh, in the summer here, because a lot of the Pacific Northwest doesn't have air conditioning, a common thing is just to go find a absolutely frigid cold body of water, because all of our bodies of water here are like snowmelt.
Yeah, true.
And go sit by the cold water, mostly rivers. We have a lot of rivers here, so going and sitting by the river and getting some sun and hanging out with your friends and going swimming. So that's kind of like the season I'm in now, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's truly brat summer, sunburn summer. Yeah, that's really all I think that's all I do. I've been playing more guitar recently. I got a new guitar and that's reignited some things. I have a Taylor GS Mini. It's mahogany. It's a beauty.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. It's really small, and I had a Dreadnought guitar before, And it was just like cartoonishly big for how short I am.
Yeah.
And it looked ridiculous, but I bought it because Taylor Swift played like those bigger body styled guitars, and I bought it when I was like 14. So I bought this new Taylor, and I didn't buy it because of Taylor, but there's just a really good guitar brand, and it sounded really beautiful. So, yep.
Kel's going to treat us to a live performance at the end of this episode, which I'm really excited about.
Yes, definitely.
We agreed on this. It was their idea. So
yeah.
It's going to be really nice. And I will accompany you on bass guitar.
Woo!
We should start a band. Let's start a band over Zoom.
Rehearsal over Zoom. Would be really good for the
God.
timing.
It would work. All
right, next question. Taylor Moore asks, go-to coffee order.
It's simple. It's never changed in the last 2 years. Large ice latte. Large if they do a regular option. Most places don't. I will get it no matter what the weather is. It was very cold today. I got an iced latte. I just like the experience of drinking, and I'm very sensitive to heat. Very sensitive to heat. So much so, in fact, Kel, fun little story quickly. I actually went and got a deep tissue massage the other day. And I'm very... my mobility is awful, and I'm very bad, inflexible. And I forgot when I booked that included in this was a free hot coal session. And halfway through, I suddenly experienced an extreme burning sensation on my back. And bro pulled out the hot coals and had like oiled them up and was like moving these insanely hot coals on my back, and he was laughing. I was being mocked.
Because you're like...
Because I was like, oh my God. I literally went, oh my God. Like when he put them down. And he was
you're
just like saying sorry. And like, yeah. I was like, you don't understand how sensitive I am to heat, both on touch and in taste. So that's why I like iced lattes. I don't know what the equivalent of an iced latte is for a massage, but if whatever it is, I'll get it.
I would imagine a cold massage.
I wish they'd...
cubes.
Now that's an idea. Oh, true, with ice. That could be fun, yeah. It could be dangerous, it sounds. But that's... I love iced lattes. I drink so many.
I respect that. I would say for me, at home, we have an espresso machine, which was one of my better investments for the amount of money that we would spend on like going out and getting coffee. Because I'd always go out and come back because I've always had an iMac, so I could never go sit at coffee shops. But I do what we call an Amaro latte, but it has an actual name and I just don't remember what it's called. But I do an iced, like pull a shot over ice, and then either I do brown sugar or I do lavender syrup, and then split 50-50 oat milk with water. And that is my home coffee order, because if I have like all oat milk, it like gives me heartburn because there's like my body doesn't digest like fat very well. But I really like oat milk because I don't do well with lactose.
Yeah.
Fuck almond milk.
So true.
So yeah, it's like a good amount. If I like split the water with the oat milk, it doesn't hurt my like what's it called? What's the thing? Gallbladder.
Colon.
There we go. So yeah, and then if I'm out, if I'm like really feeling it, I'll do a cortado or a Gibraltar, depending what kind of coffee shop you're at. That's like my good test for how pretentious is a coffee shop, is how well they can do a cortado or a Gibraltar, because that was always my favorite thing to make when I worked in coffee, and I really enjoy them because it's just a good amount of coffee. It's just a small thing. So
you wouldn't last a second in Australia, girl. What on earth are these words?
It's like it's between a macchiato, a true macchiato, and a cappuccino. It's in the middle.
Oh, okay. I feel like these are coffee orders I just have never experienced because I only order iced lattes, which is which is not even a real coffee order. I feel it's a terrible invention.
Oh, I love a nitro cold brew.
I gotta get into that stuff. I gotta get into cold brew. Yeah. I feel like I would really enjoy that. I've been really into Boss Coffee. I don't know if you've seen those. It's the Japanese Suntory branded coffees, the most popular canned coffee in Japan. And they have them now in Australian stores. And I always looked at them and I was like, that would be nice. And then sometimes at the middle of the day, I'll grab one as my second coffee. Because I usually have the iced latte in the morning, and then I'll either have like a little oat iced latte just here with my little coffee machine, or I get myself a little Boss coffee. I mean, I've only had 3 in the past 2 weeks, though. So now it's like it's my thing now. They don't sell Celsius here, so I'm into Boss coffee. Yeah, they're really nice. They're very sweet.
That needs to be filled in Elliot's world.
It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they bring Celsius to our shores, and I can't wait. I'm sure they're around. I just haven't found them yet. And honestly, hide them from me. I don't think I should find them. They're dangerous for me. I will drink so many. I love the taste. Great question,
right.
Great question. We love coffee chat.
True. Coffee heads. Yeah, we're graphic designers.
Coffee heads, make yourself known in the chat.
Yeah. Coffee heads.
Are you also a sty head?
Clock in. So, next question comes from Jill Warner. What is your first hyperfixation?
You start with this one.
Okay.
Because I'm doubting mine.
I would say, so, like a true hyperfixation, and I suppose neurotypical people can have hyperfixations, but I feel like it is generally a term that's supposed to be used to refer to neurodivergent people. For neurotypical people, it's just a hobby or an interest. But for neurodivergent people, it is an all-consuming thought to the point where it essentially can become like an obsession. So I am big on obsession feelings. I don't really have much in between hate and obsession. It's either you're on or you're off, and very deep extremes. So my first hyperfixation, I would say, if I was like more of like a coherent, like aware person, my first one would be Paul McCartney. Like I was in 6th grade. I was like 11, 12. And I don't know what came upon me, but this man just had me by the throat as a tween. And it was around the time that I found Taylor Swift. And the two became like, I was on blogs. I wasn't on Tumblr, which is really surprising. But I was in like...
Viewers globally will be surprised to hear that.
I know. I never was on Tumblr. Everybody says that my pictures would have done numbers on Tumblr. I know a lot of my pictures ended up on Tumblr, which is how some people thought I was on Tumblr. Yeah. But no, I was in like chat rooms for Paul McCartney and like general Beatles chat rooms, and also for Taylor Swift chat rooms. So that was my first hyperfixation, and I'm still obsessed with them. Like, all hours of the day thinking about it. You're watching interviews, you're buying stuff. It is something you talk about incessantly to the point where it's concerning for other people.
Yeah.
So, Ellie, what is yours?
I really, like, this is the thing. Like, I don't know. I'm doubting myself. I don't think I truly had a hyperfixation. I mean, I can remember some things that have kind of really caught my attention really strong. Like, I used to collect these, I loved the theater. And I would always get the show program. No matter what it was, I would buy the program and I would just have a stack of them at home that I would look through. And I thought that was always a cute way of, like, without realizing it, knowing my love for graphic design and the theater was a thing. I would always, like, I would be pissed off. Like, I had to seek that out. But, like, I didn't, it didn't, like, I don't know. I would say, honestly, The Wizards was the first thing that I ever was like, holy shit, I am like truly like, I need this in my life. Like, this is something that I'm kind of like, is an essential part of my day to day.
The Washington Wizards.
The Washington Wizards. Would you believe? Yeah, they have taken a hold of. They've welcomed me in with a great big hug, and I love that team so much, and I know too much about them, and I interact too much with the community. But I will play for them one day. Let me say that for a fact. And yeah, it's that or musical theater. I also the musical theater really took a hold of me for a bit there, but nothing from like a young age that I can truly remember. Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
Wait, how old were you when you got into like? How old were you when you really got into the Wizards? Because you were like
2014. I was 15.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, sorry to check the year in there. I didn't need to do that. See, I can just like
So
say
you
the
were,
year and then add 1 to it, and then that's my age. That's how I.
AARP?
That's how I just was doing that for that.
Yeah,
I'm Gen A. I'm generation. I'm the I baby. I'm Generation Z.
I'm a cusper. Anyway, okay. The Beckfoot asks, Kel, what are you crocheting? Elliot, how is stand-up? So right now I am crocheting an amigurumi Obi-Wan Kenobi because I recently watched the Kenobi series, and I will say Ewan McGregor has reached like a... Do you know Brooke Averick?
No, I don't think so.
You don't know like Brooke and Connor make a podcast?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've heard of Brooke and Connor.
You know
yes.
Connor?
I've been told that I would
Probably.
really like Connor because
I think you would really like Connor.
Yeah.
But Brooke has this tier system of like her obsession levels. So there's like tier 1, 2, and 3. And like tier 1 is like, for the love of God, do not ever put me in a room with that person, or it will actually like send me into cardiac arrest and I will pass away. Like it's so big that like you can't even, like the sheer thought of it really freaks you out because you are so obsessed with this person. So that like for me is Taylor Swift and Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And they've always been my tier 1, where
Me with my clone.
Exactly. Everybody has their tier 1. So right now, Ewan McGregor is sitting in a cool tier 3, where I'm just really fascinated by him. I would say another person in that tier is like Megan Thee Stallion, and maybe like Harry Styles. Like really enjoy them, have a crush on them.
Yeah.
But I respect them so much where I'm like, I'm not going to be weird about it. Versus,
like
weird about Taylor and Paul.
Versus like an uncontrollable kind of like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you.
So they have a good tier system for that. But yeah, Ewan McGregor has influenced me crocheting an amigurumi Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, yep.
Nice. And to flip the coin on this one from crochet to stand-up comedy, because they are extremely related. My stand-up career is going well. I did stand-up for the 3rd time a few weeks ago. I have the footage. I might upload it. And it was a very warm crowd because they were kind of into a bit more of an alternative kind of style, which is what I kind of do. It's just very like, none of the jokes are very funny, but I pray that the delivery itself is so awkward and bizarre that you can't help but laugh, and it seems to work right now. The jokes have no structure, no punchline, but they just sound like they should be funny, and I like that as my thing. And then I did some musical improv last week for the first time, which is making up a musical on the spot, Kel. It's pretty fucking cool.
That's actually remarkable.
I
would really like to see that in person.
Right? It's one of those things. It always sells well, musical improv, because it's so... The curiosity is there, where it's like, no way they're making up a musical. And then... Because you're like, someone's playing like piano, like making that up on the spot, and they're making up songs as they go. But it is quite amazing how it works, and it is seriously the most fun that I have in my life. I love it so much. It's the only thing where I truly can just... I kind of black out, and then I finish it, and I'm like, great. The words just kind of come to me like I'm singing karaoke almost. Like I don't have to think. Like it just all... I think I've listened to so much musical theater in my life that the structure of a song is so embedded into my head.
Yeah.
That it's so... I find it so easy and so much fun. And now I'm getting the opportunity to do that, which is really good. And then in exciting news... I don't know if I've told you this, girl, but I am doing a solo show as part of the Sydney Fringe Festival in September called Graphic Design Live on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September at the Factory Theatre in Marrickville. I'm doing 45 to 60 minutes of solo comedy. It's my first ever dive into solo show. I've always wanted to do it. It's going to be my last hurrah before New York. And tickets will be going on sale. They might be on sale when this comes out. If it is, I'll let you guys know. But that'll be fun. That's my next thing. Yeah.
That's huge. No, you didn't tell me that. That's amazing.
No, it's I don't know if it'll be about graphic design. I'm doing that to sell tickets because I think there's only like 200 seats in total of the 3 nights, so I hope it sells out because that's 0.1% of my online audience. You would hope it would sell, but I forget that not many people are in the area. So yeah, feel free to come along to that. I'm very nervous about it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of time 45 minutes plus is a lot of time.
Yeah, that's
but
a
I'm
long
very,
time.
very, 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 very keen to do some live shows that I can hopefully bring to New York as well, because I think that'd be fun. Yeah, that's my stand-up. Good question.
Right. Let's fire through these last few.
Yeah.
I think let's do top 3 albums.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Okay. I will say mine while you're thinking.
Yeah, please.
Top 3 albums.
It's such a top 3 is so hard.
This is saying a lot. 1989 by Taylor Swift. 2. I Like It When You Sleep for You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It by the 1975.
Yep.
3. Let It Be by the Beatles.
Huge. Okay.
Extremely predictable, but those are like core foundations of who I am as a person.
Yeah, I back it. I back it. I'm gonna say 1. Reachin', A New Refutation of Time and Space by Diggable Planets.
Okay.
A
I'm gonna
jazz
have to
rap
Google
trio.
all these things, Elliot.
They're unreal. They're pretty unheard of. 2. The Persona 5 original soundtrack for the video game. And 3. This is probably the hard one. I'm just looking through the downloaded albums I have. That's a good sense of what I love. I'm gonna say it would probably be Inside Is Love by Leon Ware, which is a disco funk album from back in the day, and it is unreal. They're the albums that I could truly listen to over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I will never get bored of them. I would say those are my top 3.
All right.
And I'm sure I've just gained so much respect from everyone.
Everybody's just left to Google. What the fuck was he talking
I've
about?
just gone, what the fuck is this guy? Everyone, I've heard some people put me on 2 times speed and leave you on 1 time speed.
That's really funny.
They try and get through it. No one's ever said that, though. I mean, I hope not. It'd be hilarious if that was the case.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your zodiac signs? Oh, this is by Lindsay, friend of the pod.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Rum. Adore Lindsay. What are your zodiac signs, and do you feel seen by them?
I am an Aquarius, and I have always felt... Whenever I have a few friends who are really into zodiac signs, me not so much, but whenever I've told people I'm an Aquarius, I get a very affirming, of course. So I feel seen by people's reactions. Yeah. And it's also like, because I think that isn't the sign like, is it 2 waves?
Yeah, I think it's a water sign. I also don't know.
Yeah, it's two little waves, and I'm a twin, so it kind of looks like it's like twin signs, which I always thought was cute.
That's cute.
So cute. Yes, I do feel seen.
All right. I am a Pisces, which when I tell people that, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know my rising,
true.
I'm a Cancer rising, which also means something that I don't really know. Everybody just always says, yeah, that makes sense. So it never seems to be a good thing, but I don't know anything about astrology. So also Matt's a Gemini, and people always say Geminis are bad, and I'm like, guys, maybe it's fake. Have you thought about that? Because based on the stereotypes I've always heard about Geminis, Matt is like the least Gemini, I guess, ever.
Yeah.
So
I only found I just did a little calculation to see what my rising is, and I'm a Libra rising, but for some reason this website isn't showing my the other one. So I'm
your moon,
because I think my moon, because I'm on a rising sign calculator and not both. It only shows one, which is the most stupid.
You have to like download a special app.
Yeah, and I can't do I can't remember the time I was born again. I can't go back and do it.
I'm not texting my mom again to remember.
Exactly.
Mom, what time was I born? Okay, then the last one we'll do.
Yeah.
What is a career/profession you admire but can't imagine doing yourself? From ELIOUXENCE.
Great question. I would love to say basketball, but I can't imagine myself. I can't. I play it, so it's easier to imagine. I mean, I would never make it, but I can. I would. Obviously, I would love to do it as like a full-time thing. That would probably be the dream. But I would say, my girlfriend's a lawyer, right? Studying law, just graduated. She's killing it. Unbelievable. So good.
Stunning.
And honestly, the conversations that I have with her about law and like the state of the world and how law's placed and everything, I'm kind of like, I would love to get into it, but I can't see myself doing it because of the work. Like, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I could do the work. But I'm like, this is genuinely like, I could go on and on and on about a lot of this stuff. And I do really enjoy, I think, just the idea of it all and as a profession. I think it would be very satisfying. Yeah.
I could see
Elliot is a lawyer. This bro's look at my lawyer dog. This guy's
going to jail.
I'm going to jail.
I respect that. I could see that. I feel like you'd be a hit in the courtroom too.
It's improv. The courtrum is drama.
It really is
theater.
just improv.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see what was it called, that movie recently, the French film?
No.
I've just saw it. French film movie about law. Fuck me. Damn it. Why did I do this?
Me
this
just watching Star Wars.
It was a huge hit. I swear. Wait, one sec. Never mind. It's not on the Oscar list. I'm cooked. It's fine. Ignore me.
Flop.
Ignore me. Flop of a sentence for Elliot. Anatomy of a Fall. Did you see Anatomy? That was it. Anatomy of a Fall.
Heard of it. Yes. I haven't seen it.
Basically like a 2.5 hour long court case. And that movie was when I was like, this is all theater. The court is theater. I am fascinated as long as I'm on the right side, because fuck me, the guy who's like the prosecutor or whatever, I'm like, this is evil, like evil work.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But I'm like, it could be, it was fascinating. I was like really into it.
I see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Like I had said in the last episode, considering going into veterinary science, because I do have a very deep connection for like medicine and also animals. But I feel like a more realistic thing would also be like going into environmental science and being, I don't know, like a land surveyor or something, or just like somebody who collects data on fish. Something really like normie.
Yeah.
Or an art teacher.
Yes.
I would also really enjoy being an art teacher. Like high school art.
I can see that. I can see that. I think a lot of people, I mean, I learned a lot from you, from your YouTube videos alone. You do have the natural gift of being able to teach, which is
Thanks.
It is a gift. It is a gift. And it's not respected enough in this society.
Oh. No. Teaching in a way that like meeting people where they're at really is like a core of what I want to bring to the table with any of my content, is that I always want to be approachable and easy to digest. I want people to feel welcome and safe, that you can enter at any skill level if you're even interested in design or not, that my space is like for you, and that I care about, having diverse people in my audience and making sure that their needs are met and they feel safe in a creative space, because it's really all I want. So
yeah, and you nail it. You do exactly that.
Thanks.
What an audience you've created.
I have a really cool following.
What an audience we have.
Truly.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Mine, not so much. I'm kidding.
I mean,
guys.
we have a huge overlap.
Oh,
so
massive overlap. Yeah. Shout out to
in the chat.
We love the Kelliot heads.
I am so sore. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
we've been sitting down for a long time. I think that might be time to call it. I
did a really hard Pilates class yesterday, and it's like really sinking in, because I like went this morning and it wasn't a hard class, but yesterday it kicked my fucking ass, man. We did a lot of chest, and we don't do a lot of chest. So, like...
Oh, that hurts after you haven't done that. Oh, yeah. I'm still recoiling after my deep tissue massage. There were some positions he put me in that I didn't know were possible, and he just like hooking my arm behind my back like this, and then grabbing the little hole that it creates and like twisting it back. And I was like, where are we going? Put me down. He was like lifting me off the thing. Yeah, it was a lot. But it was necessary because I am I can hardly touch my toes. Not even touch my shins. Very stiff man.
I'm fairly stiff too.
Yeah.
And I'm very short, and I feel like I don't have I've always wanted to be more flexible, but I'm stiff as board.
Oh, I'm not going to put in the work either. Everyone's stretch more. Name one more boring thing.
Yeah, you have to stretch, but you also have to exercise the specific muscles that you're going to be stretching, and then do it like in sequence. Like that's what they won't tell you about becoming more flexible. Is you can't just stretch. No. There's like you have to be exercising those muscles to be able to stretch.
It's just too much for me. It's just like, how about I just go and lift weight, and then the week after I put 5 more kilos on and go, cool.
Yeah.
Progression.
I want to be able to hold my cat for a long period of time. I told my teacher in like one of my first Pilates classes, because she was like, why did you start coming to Pilates? And I was like, my cat's heavy. And she was like, really? Like, that's why? And I was like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Some of my cats are heavy, and I'm not very strong.
Pilates is a love letter to your cats. It's beautiful.
I love
it's an
Pilates.
Active service. Yeah.
I really love Pilates.
Oh, I got to try it. We should have done it in LA.
I know. I regret not doing it when we're in LA.
Yeah.
Next time, I'm going to drag you, and I'm going to take you to one of the Megaformer classes, which are really scary, because I think that
is that reform? Because I want to do reformer.
There's a bunch of different
like on that
kinds of
Megaformer
reformers.
Sounds like megafauna, the giant animals of the past.
It's kind of like that. Like, you have regular reformers that are wooden. The one that I use regularly is a steel reformer. And then there's other ones that have like, there's different philosophies of Pilates. So they kind of have just like different like athletic styles. And Megaformer Pilates, I did a few when I was in LA a few weeks ago. Not when I was with you, but it handed my ass back to me. I had never sweat the amount that I did in that class. Literally, like, I normally get sweaty, but I was like dripping. Like, sweat,
oh my
like
God,
pouring off my face. It was like straight, like I was watching my deodorant just leave my body. And I was like, I can't go get coffee after this, man.
Oh, fuck yeah. And those are usually well air-conditioned, well-ventilated spaces, too. So that's an extra, that's a high heart rate.
And there's some Pilates studios that are heated, too. And I'm like,
guys. Come on. Yeah, Jesus.
So, yeah. But there's really like a type of Pilates for everyone. And I just really enjoy it because it feels easy. It's an expensive workout. I will say, Jesus Christ, could we please make Pilates a little bit cheaper?
Yep.
How much, like, if you did a drop-in for like a CrossFit session, how much is it?
At my gym specifically?
Or just like...
It would be... I think in general, like, a drop-in, probably like $20, I think, is what mine is. For
Australian? How much is that?
Australian,
USD?
yeah. It's $12, $13 USD. That sounds cheap. The membership is expensive, but oh god, yeah, I feel What is it, 160? 30, 40?
I think my studio is a drop-in of like 37, 38 USD, and then the ones that I was going to in LA, drop-in was 45.
Jesus.
For a 45-minute class.
Yeah,
it's going to be the hardest workout of your life.
Oh yeah. But you're doing it once a month. You're doing it.
I have the unlimited membership, so it breaks down to be like $10 or $12 a class. But it'll really force you to go every day because you're like, That's
the thing.
I gotta get my money's worth, man.
The expensive memberships makes you want to go more. Yep. It makes you very disappointed in yourself when you're like, I'm wasting money by not going, and I have no other excuse not to go.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
What a
we
chat.
have a lot more questions that I think we'll try to sprinkle into a couple other episodes. But I hope you enjoyed hearing about Elliot's creative process, though it's very different than mine. Everybody's creative process is different.
Oh, yeah.
And it changes over time, too. Mine's very different from what it used to be. I'm sure yours will change as you continue your ADHD journey. And I am excited to see what that's going to look like for you and how it just changes your perspective on design and work in general.
Me too. I'm very keen to see the wicked things I create with my locked in mind.
I will say I grew a lot as a designer.
Yeah, okay. That's exciting.
My medication. I got better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's necessarily correlation, but
there's a lot of stuff I got to ask you about in future episodes about like creativity and ADHD and stuff like that and how it affects it all. I'm very a lot of concerns in my brain, so we'll cover that.
If you guys want an episode dedicated to ADHD, let us know. Because I don't know if that would be like enough for like a lot of people to be interested in. But I think
because we could talk about it for so long, easy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, it's on the mind, guys. When I tell you it's on the mind, it's on the mind.
A lot of creative people have ADHD. I think it's just like they go kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know if you guys would be interested, and that we'll do it in a future episode. But thanks for listening to Unmedicated with Kel and Elliot.
Great. That's the bonus episode name. We gotta call it that.
Yeah, truly. Be sure to go rate us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star review so Elliot and I can feel better about ourselves. And make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at kelliotpod. And maybe in the near future, we will have information on some bonus episodes that you guys can access via Patreon. If you would like an extra little snippet of brain scraps from us every month. So, Elliot, do you have anything else?
It's going to be epic. I make sure to tune into the Washington Wizards Summer League.
Ooh.
games.
Oh, yeah, Summer League starts soon.
I'm sure they'll be fun. Keep an eye out for Alex Sarr, our number 2 pick.
Is that who you got?
I want to hear your reports on it. Yeah, we got the number 2, Alex Sarr.
We
French
had
guy.
his twin, Olivier, on a couple 10 days last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not worthy of the number 2 pick, I guess. The Wizards won that one. Shout out to twins in the NBA.
It's a Chris and Keegan Murray type of situation where you can get one that is so good.
Yep, and then
there's another one.
we could talk about this stuff for hours, guys.
Anyway.
Thanks for listening, everyone. You guys are legends. We love you. And we'll see you next week for some more kelliot. Bye now.
Goodbye.